Arfan has won one, lost one. Kristi Caulfield has won one, drawn one. So too as Gary Clark will face Neil Rayburn in the final match of the night. Arfan must win. And that's what he's got to be shooting for.
The result in the last match, not ideal for Arfan. He could have done with Kristi getting the victory because it sort of keeps control in his own hands. But all he can do is win here and hope that Neil comes up with a result for him. The one thing it does do, though, with the draw rather than the win for Arfan, if Gary had made that clearance there and got the victory, then Arfan would have to win this one and have a Neil result to get a 6-red shootout. Now Arfan, if he wins here, he can actually still make it through clean and not need the 6-red. So it sort of doesn't help him, but maybe takes that out of play.
Yeah, Arfan's pretty good at the 6-red shootout.
He's very good at the 6-red, yeah.
You wouldn't really like to go to it. You wouldn't want to bank on it.
Good chance here in the opening frame for Arfan, but that yellow by the 8-ball, does it go down bottom right? Because it's awkward to land on it. Obviously, it will go left centre. I think once the other one's out the way, it might go left centre before the other one's out the way, but awkward to get to that side of the table. Excellent shot, and he gets there, and that's almost ball in hand perfect. That's a beautiful shot for Arfan.
Been a lovely visit to the table from the daddy. That'll do.
It's back-to-back brilliant breaks from Kristi. They're going to end up dry. Obviously, the final break of the last match, and then the first one here. I'm still amazed by the amount he rips the cue ball back and still generates huge power. I feel like this is on the first shot for Arfan. Assuming that red goes in the left centre, then the red's a good chance, but it's a really awkward first ball. If it doesn't go in the left centre, he may not have an opening ball on.
Your memory is quite terrifying sometimes, Simon Webb.
Do they play first match as well?
They played last match, but Group 2 of 2022's Champions League. Kristi Caulfield 1-2, drew 1, and lost a 6-red shootout by 29 hundredths of a second.
I knew it was tight. It was very tight. Excellent opening ball for Arfan. Gone wrong though. Obviously makes the pot, but causes himself a real problem. Obviously very, very hampered for the next ball, but he's tied up the one by the 8-ball. Although that one by the 8-ball, if it goes right centre, may not be as big a problem as it looks. The hampered cueing though, this shot here is horrible. That's excellent. That was a great camera angle to really see the difference of the size of balls. We talk about it a fair amount. The cue ball being smaller than the object ball makes those shots even harder, and you could clearly see it there on that camera angle. That was, you can make a case actually for that being the best shot of the night. That was fabulous, that. The way he's gone about this tells us, I think, that red does go to right centre. Wow. You can see there on the overhead it does, but what's he done there? That's really surprising. I mean, Has he tried to play a cannon? It looks like it clearly goes from the overhead. I mean, he could just drop that in and he's on it, or he can play it with a ton of left-hand side and just use the 2 cushions.
What? You know, what has happened there?
I don't know what he was trying to do. I mean, it looked like it clearly went to right centre. Obviously didn't play for it for right centre, so maybe it didn't, but...
That's not a terrible result, that, for Kristi. I mean, that is bizarre. Really strange one.
Yeah.
So let's have another watch of this.
I mean, it looks like it clearly goes, doesn't it?
I mean, has he just got into it too much and played it too hard?
But I was expecting him on that line just to play with left-hand side, and so you sort of go 2 cushions and you create quite a wide angle into it. I'm surprised if he was playing for it in that pocket. I don't think he'd play it straight.
Well, no, I'm just as lost as you are for an explanation.
I can only assume. I mean, we've been fooled by the overhead so many times, but I can only assume that we've been fooled there and it didn't go because there's no reason for playing a cannon otherwise.
Well, it should cost Arfan Dad the frame, that much we can say. That is just an extraordinary outcome in a visit where he looked so assured. Which almost is the sort of more surprising thing more than anything else.
Kristi's torturing a little bit out there as well.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's not doing it for any other reason than the 2 yellows are still tied up. It still wasn't time to go. He wants Arfan to move the red or foul in opening it up. There you go. That's moved the red now, which makes things a little bit easier. He still has to work those 2 out. It's still not absolutely guaranteed. Obviously still cue ball in hand because he didn't hit cushion after contact with the red. I think he's just going to play quite a delicate snooker here. Just going to nip the cue ball so it just reaches the cushion, I think, and then the yellow just rests into the red. I don't think he's trying to make sure that, he wants to knock the red middle of the top cushion, but he's not worried if it reaches. There you go. Now they're open. Sometimes players in those situations try to make the red reach the cushion, but the cue ball was the one that only had to go half a turn, and therefore no risk of fouling. And assuming he's on this yellow to top left, time to go now.
Oh, what a funny old frame.
Looks like he's going to stop the cue ball. Looks like he's got the perfect angle just to track the one on the cushion. Could have topped that through and got 3/4 ball on that yellow and then dealt with these 2 at the top. But equally, I wish he was going this way around when you've got the one over bottom cushion waiting as well. Many different ways about going about a clearance when all the reds are out the way.
What a crazy frame. It's 1-1. It is 1-1.
Another huge break.
That is massive, isn't it?
He just it's such an amazing break he has.
That is absolutely enormous.
And it's all very well saying that he has a good cut break, and he does, but when he breaks like that, it still was a surprise to me to see him start off with a cut break.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what kind of pool players are talking about when they're sort of talking free frames. It's absolutely not a free frame. He's still got to make the clearance, but this sort of clearance that, you know, players expect to make every single time.
It's as free a frame as you could possibly wish to have. Arfan spoke in his interview before tonight about the importance of the break. You know, it can often come down to who breaks the best. And, you know, that's the evidence right there. That was an outstanding break, and it's been rewarded by a very, very simple finish. Ripper.
Chance for Kristi to respond quickly here. Does the yellow above the 8-ball pass bottom left or right centre? If it passes bottom left, this is routine, this finish. Oh, it clearly goes. A really good chance then. He's a bit in between here, actually. I don't know if he was trying to come back to straight in on the one to right centre or come back further for the one at the bottom of the table below the 8-ball, which would be the one you'd want to get rid of. Still chooses to get rid of it, and that's fine. I think he can just drift past the red, and we know that straight in on the yellow to left centre leaves him perfect on the yellow to bottom left. So as long as he just slides by the red, which looks natural. Oh yeah, clearly. That was an excellent shot to bottom left. Sorry, bottom right rather, to get that angle.
It's going to nip back and forth.
Oh, miss it completely this time.
Oh, look at that. He just watched the body language of Kristi in the top left. He knows Arfan's got away with one there. Sent this cue ball all around the houses, got this all wrong, and gets away with it.
And Arfan knows straight away. Even Kristi, who shows very little in his chair, had half a reaction to that one. Just half a reaction. And it's left a good layout for Arfan. That was a nice shot to get on this awkward red. He does have to deal with the red by the 8-ball as well. I'm really surprised by that. I know he wasn't perfect on the red to right centre. It looked like he just had to get it out the way. Was he going to get better on it than he was there at 15 seconds a shot? Yeah, probably not.
Oh, it's just got interesting, hasn't it? It's just got interesting.
How aggressive is Kristi feeling?
We usually know the answer to that question.
Yeah, he's looked at a few attacking options. He played that. That's a brilliant shot. Hasn't landed perfectly, but he's got himself in with a chance here on the yellows.
And I wonder. I wonder. That clock's still ticking. 2:30 and counting.
Arfan's thinking cushion off the yellow to open up the pocket for the red.
Shot.
Only problem is that he's a long way from this red, and it's not a good angle to deal with the 1 by the 8 ball. He's going to go down the right-hand side first. I think you can get underneath the 1 by the 8 ball. It will go, there you go, left centre potentially. Has the angle this time. He can either screw into it or he can try. He's just come around to have a look. Can play for it into the left centre from where he is. Yeah, I think that was probably the right choice. It looked a little bit awkward to get onto it into the centre. Wasn't that much room showing of the potting angle.
A vital lead for Arfan Dad. 1 minute and 11 seconds remain. It's 3-2.
Oh no. Oh, it gets there anyway.
So Kristi Caulfield has 66 seconds and ticking.
He's got an awkward area of the table.
Flies into it straight away. I don't think that's come out too badly.
I think it's come out perfect. He's okay here. That red goes bottom left. The other one goes past the yellow bottom right. He's got an angle here to go up the table to get on them or deal with the ones at the top first. Just mind your work on the clock. Don't let it get away from you. And as there's not going to be enough time for a break clearance, Kristi really should run this down. You know, if you're ultra thinking here, you could make this a buzzer beater. Now that is obviously first things first, make the clearance. But if you can make the clearance and run the clock down when you pop the 8 ball so that Arfan doesn't even have time for a break, at least you're asking the question of Gary Clark rather than Arfan having the chance of the golden break.
It will be close enough to a buzzer beater. This needs to go. And it does. Oh, it was close. It was close. But a 3-3 finish. Kristi Caulfield goes the night unbeaten. He knocks out Arfan Dad. And now all eyes on Gary Clark in our final match of the night. Whew.